name is LaBeouf, Community Facilitator with Devereux Kids the Gap program. And I've been with Devereux for a little over 2 years. And part of our job is, as a community facilitator, to advocate for the caregivers, trying to provide community resources for them, and also to reach out in the community to partner with different locations, vendors, restaurants, so that they can give our caregivers discounts with their GAP membership card. When I found out I was nominated for the Frontline Hero, I think like everyone else, just shocked. It is a surprise, but it's also it's an honor. I feel that it's just something that you feel appreciated for. But I already feel appreciated because I get a lot of thank yous from caregivers or just case managers, so this is just an extra bonus. When I work with the children and the families, I'm fortunate that I can carry empathy and sympathy and just an immense amount of faith. I think because I'm a grandma, I can relate to these caregivers, and I know that at the end of the day, we've helped them and maybe give them a better tomorrow because of the work that we can do to help them. Describing yourself is not easy, but I like to think of myself as self-motivating and persistent and resourceful and understanding and caring. Well, many years ago I had my own drills, sanders, and saws, and I had a great craft business working with wood. And then I wanted to go in a different direction, so at the age of 50, went back to school, which isn't that easy, but I did then pursue my master's in psychology. I was a grief counselor with hospice at the time, and I just wanted to get a better understanding of the human development, of why the families make such decisions they do and the poor choices, especially in the middle of a crisis. So with the grief counseling, then I was able to get certified in. I can use that a lot today when I do the support groups, because I do feel that the caregivers and the children are genuinely grieving, maybe not physical losses, but symbolic losses, so that we can talk about how these kids are not just acting out, being defiant, but they are really trying to cope with their losses. And so we talk about how they can earn trust and let the guard down on these kids so that they can have some effective communication and help each other. What motivates me to do this work, I think, is just knowing at the end of the day, when I'm exhausted and tired and I want to go home, I can go home to a quiet evening. But these caregivers are just starting. They've got homework, diapers, dinner, bath time, bottles, and they are just starting their night. And again, if we can help them get through a day where tomorrow will be easier for them, if that's getting through Access Florida so that they can get some answers to some questions that they've been waiting weeks for, if we can get those papers in from case managers that will process their case quicker, those are things that I know make a difference in their life, and it makes their day a little bit easier. Being a community facilitator is kind of wearing two hats. One is working with the caregivers, and the other working with all the community partners that you can build relationships with. But I would hope they'd be friendly, flexible with their time, but just good at building relationships and knowing that you have to be understanding and just being a good listener, because sometimes they may call because they don't have anyone else to talk to. They can't call their family and friends because they're only going to be told, "I told you so," or "I don't know why you took these kids." So, talking to us, I may not even say anything, but I will let them vent, because everyone needs someone to talk to. And honestly, just maybe a hand to hold and a heart to understand what they're going through. That's why I'm so glad that we're there for them. Sharing a memorable case is not difficult. I've had one favorite for over a year, but I may need to find a new one. But this one is just so close to my heart because it was on a Wednesday morning and it was following a support group. And I had a phone call from a caregiver that was very emotional and said, I just want to thank you. And I said, well, that's what we're here for. You know, anytime you give us a call. She said, no, I really want to thank you. My family had the most amazing dinner last night. We had roast beef and potatoes and broccoli, and it wasn't even a holiday. And that just hurt my heart because I knew then that some of these caregivers count their pennies and cut coupons and cannot afford roast beef. But that's why I'm so grateful to Florida Baptist Children's Home, because they donate a tremendous amount of food for our caregiver support group and our foster parent support groups. And to provide that food for them so they can have a big meal in the middle of the week makes a huge difference. And so maybe I don't mind lugging all those coolers around with 500 pounds of food every time I have a support group, because I just love what I do. And I just want to thank you for this honor, because it really is a thrill to be chosen a Frontline Hero.